Right, let's do another Hollyoaks video. Now, this one's not really predicated on too much. It's just a little theory for the 30th anniversary that maybe it'll be interesting to see just if this actually goes this way. So, if you haven't seen this week's Hollyoaks, and I'll fully reiterate just because I don't like to leave it in the open, I have not watched this week's Hollyoaks, although I do know that spoilers, but if you've watched this week, you should know. It gets revealed that seemingly Darren isn't the dad of Morgan Osborne, and it may actually be Tony. I believe is what they have been teasing for this. Yeah, so just confirmed it. It's essentially said that Morgan is Tony's kid as opposed to Darren's, which is like, first and foremost, why? First and foremost, why the fuck would you do that? Asking for a friend. Because, like, who even... Do Darren and Nancy even have any children together at this point? Yeah, they have Oscar. Okay. Yeah, let's just check. Yeah, they have Oscar. Okay. But, like... It's just so weird. It's just so bizarre. I don't really understand the angle for this. And I'm not too upset by it. There are people who are more upset about it than I am. I think it just kind of completes a pretty, like, crude pie where Nancy was about to end the relationship with Darren when she thought he was cheating on her with Kat. But to have it be Nancy be the one who cheats is going to make this one pretty miserable. Not just because Nancy, but just because about what she's kind of been saying for the last, like, time period and how it's really going to rattle this Osborne family. And, you know, they did win Soap Family of the Year and they did deserve it, but I am worried for the future of them. And first and foremost, I don't understand why it has to be Tony as a question. And I say that. Now, this one could be completely unfounded, and I'm not entirely sure. But I did also see people suggesting that perhaps, what am I trying to say? Perhaps there's a world where he may be Mercedes' kid. Now, that one's not entirely confirmed. But even then, so, like, I mean, first and foremost, why? Because I'm pretty sure someone mentioned it, but I think after the cancer, Tony can't have kids anymore, but now he's had multiple. And next, with bringing back some characters from the 90s, bringing back some characters from Tony's past, and with the recent affair with Mercedes, the recent split from Marie, I'm going to take this time to theorize that the reason why there's all this big fanfare for the Hollyoaks 30th anniversary is I genuinely believe there may be a whodunit as to who kills Tony Hutchinson. Now, that sounds quite bold. That sounds quite wild. But let's just reiterate, this is Hollyoaks first and foremost. This is the 30th anniversary. Tony's one of the very few who has been there from the start. He has spent 30 years dedicated to Hollyoaks. And it would mean business if you fully decided it's time to kill off Tony Hutchinson. He's left a legacy. He's left many legacies. And he's also kind of going back to what some would say as of the last decade has pretty much been his main thing. And typically it's kind of a writing ploy. When you want to finish off a character, you kind of bring them back to where you think it should end naturally. So, like, if you think Tony and Diane are the way, you kind of bring them back together in the end. And then after that, it kind of just shows up in a slightly different way. And he has been causing problems. We all know that there's going to be a whole load of problems with even just this slightly minor thing. We have Darren, who, as far as he knew, he was Morgan's dad, but he's not. Mercedes, who he had an affair with, and he killed Mercedes' boy, Bobby. You have Diane, who he's cheated on multiple times. You have Marie. You have Nancy. You can probably have Frankie, who would be angry at him for splitting up her parents' relationship. Like, you have a whole multitude of characters who all probably want to see, like, Tony pay. Want to see Tony get some comeuppance. So I think the perfect way to kick off the anniversary is to have Tony be the big big overarching villain. A really huge pillar of this anniversary. And it ends with Tony's death. Because Tony's death has been teased before, and they have done it before. They teased it with Breeder. It does feel like the actor's probably at this point pretty content. Like, he's done 30 years. He's probably living good. He's probably spent his money well. Like, I think it could be a really engaging time to do this now, as opposed to later. And I think for the maximum impact as well. And the thing is, it's a 30th, right? It's a big deal. You can only mark it once. And sometimes in these instances, you have to say goodbye to some characters. You have to depart with some characters. 40th anniversary, Martin Fowler. 35th anniversary, grandson of Den Watts. 30th anniversary, Lucy Beale, and a huge kind of whodunit reveal. Like, you do need to mark these occasions with something that will genuinely shock the audience. So I think that that's the way. Now, this was just a little theory, so I haven't exactly theory crafted it. This is just like speculation. But I think with a lot of the changes to Tony's kind of recent character, a lot of his kind of fall from grace as such, him kind of becoming engrossed in more and more stories, I think it would be a really bold move to take Tony off of our screens, and at that point we kind of see where it is. And yeah, so yeah, I think for the 30th anniversary, Tony Hutchinson should be killed off, and it should be a big whodunit. I feel like that would be huge, and that would kind of cement a lot of just everything. It would just be a huge celebration, and you could even like bring up people from Tony's past, and just be a huge celebration of his time on the show specifically, as he's pretty much been there non-stop for 30 years. I didn't exactly fact check that. But yeah, tell me what you think in the comment section down below. Been Ash from Watching Walford. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye. Bye.